Hi guys, it's Amy with Aim to Plan, and today I am going to be setting up August. Now, I can't believe it's already August, but it's just, I feel like the summer has flown by. But August for me means that I'll be going back to work and summer break is going to be over for me. And so, what I'm going to do really quickly is walk you through what I currently have. I already have a video up showing you my planner lineup for July, and I'll show you some of the updates that I've had to that and then walk you through what I'm planning to do in terms of setting up for August. So first off, I have several planners that again are in the previous planner lineup video. The first one is my personal catch-all. This is my work planner. This is my home binder, my faith journal, Sophia's memory book, and then I have right here 4 summer journals that I have been keeping for my nieces and nephews who I've been babysitting for most of the summer. So that's there. And then lastly, I have my transformer planner that is my wellness planner and my social media planner. One thing that I did do differently, if you watched the previous video and caught this, I know this is a very slight change, but I switched the covers for these 2 planners. So this was originally the cover that I was using for the wellness planner, but it seemed to me just to make more sense for it to be the social media planner, just talking about like being a little bit more creative and standing out a little bit more. And then I switched this cover, which was originally for my social media planner, to my wellness planner. And again, I think this makes more sense. I'm really big into mindfulness, and one of the major mantras of mindfulness is making sure that every moment matters and just staying in the present moment. So I felt like this fit a lot better with the wellness planner. So that's that. Now, again, I have a video walking you through all of those planners. 2 of the planners that I did add since then, this one is a cover that I got from, I believe it's a Walmart IQ 360 discount system, which they discontinued. They no longer have that system at Walmart, and they carry the Happy Planner now at Walmart. But this cover was from that, and I think the discs were as well. And inside here is sheets from an old, outdated student layout planner that I just cut down to size. Now, I was originally keeping this in with Sophia's memory book, but one of the infants that I'm babysitting this summer is my niece, Malia, and this is just notes that I've been keeping for her, and you can see here it's pretty much functional. It's just a record of all the things that I've been doing with her. So I did add that and put it into its own binder. She's going back to daycare, so that actually is one of the first ones to go for the summer. And then this other one, my very last video, my previous video was on this uncoiling the Sudoku book, and so you can see here that I did uncoil it. I mentioned in that last video that I was thinking of putting it on Happy Planner covers, and I did do that. And I found out that when I put it on the covers, it was hanging out a little bit too far right here, and so I ended up trimming some of it down, which I didn't lose anything. It was just extra, like just pages just to make it square, or like extra length just to make it square. So I trimmed that off, and it folds very beautifully. And so I have it on just a random cover that I have, and I did also have enough room with this planner to add a pin loop, and these pin loops I got from Amazon. I'll link it below so you can see these, but I just love these pin loops. They are a great find, and they hold pins really well. I don't have a pin in there right now, but I do have it in there. And you guys, I used this Sudoku planner, or I took this, it's not a planner really, but it's just the Sudoku book with me on vacation, and it was amazing. I was able to make it through pretty much all of the beginner puzzles that I had put in here, and so now I'm starting on intermediate, and I still have a lot to go, but it's been awesome. I really love that. So that's that. Now let me pull myself together and move some of these stacks around. Now, the one thing that I did notice with the system that I had going was it was just way too many planners. And so what I'm thinking of doing in August is a couple of things. One, since I'm stopping the summer journals and starting work, I need to, I think, consolidate a little bit so that way I'm not pulling planners on and off the shelf all the time. What I ended up finding myself doing was pretty much every day taking a pile of planners in my arms and like carrying it to the desk, working on them all, and then putting them back, reshelving them. And that was just a little bit too much of a hassle. And I'd rather not do that on a daily basis. I'd rather do that on more of a weekly or even monthly basis. And so what I'm thinking of doing is trying to reduce the number of planners that I have going. So just to kind of talk it out with you, what I'm thinking of keeping is going to be, first of all, my personal planner. So this will serve as a catch-all, and this is the one that we're going to be walking through mostly today. The next planner that I do plan to keep separate from everything else, sorry if my board is shifting, is my work planner. So this work planner, just like it was in the July planner lineup, is an outdated planner that I kind of put together, and I will be redating and using this for my work notes. And so that is there. I again will record a separate video showing you how I set this up. Not so much the weekly pages, but this section, where is the section? This section, which is the checklist part of it, and talking you through how I plan to use this as a professor. I'm not an elementary, middle, or high school teacher. I am a professor, and so working with college age students, how can I adapt this to fit my needs? I don't necessarily keep my grades in here, and so there'll be a separate video for that. So that will be a separate binder or planner. And then the last one is going to be the memory book that I keep for Sophia. I keep that separate, and I say separate, but you'll see a little bit later that I will be carrying pieces over into my personal catch-all, and I think that might make a little bit more sense once you see what I've got set up currently in my catch-all. Right, the rest of it I'm going to try to combine into this catch-all, and the planners themselves will stay together, so I'll move months out of each planner and then put them back in once I'm done with it. But they will be, as they're being worked on currently, like each week or each month, they're going to be sitting in this personal planner. I just think that might work a little bit better for me rather than trying to flip through multiple planners. Just flip to the section that is in this planner, this one planner. Okay, and as you probably already know, the summer journals are going to go away, and so I'll move those over here, and then the faith, home binder, and social media and wellness planners, those are all going to be combined into my catch-all. So let me move those first. So this is what I've got. These all will end up being into one planner, and I'll actually put some pages from the Sudoku planner into my catch-all as well as part of a section that I'll be creating. So these technically five, although there's 6 here with this one being split up into 2 planners, will all go into my catch-all. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Move this to the side, show you what my setup looks like right now. So to start off with, in this planner, the cover is from the Walmart All Glam planner, which I got picked up last back to school release at Walmart. I love this cover. I love the color. It matches the discs from the Happy Planner very well, and I just love the combination here. Inside, I do use the Vintage Botanicals. I finally put my name in it. It's not great, but I did put it in there. And then immediately following that, I have what I consider our ideal schedule. So this is the schedule for Sophia for the summer. This will be moved to her memory book once the summer is over. We have one more week, and then she's going to be going back to school, to daycare. So this will be in play for one more week. And this is my 2019 vision board / schedule. And this is kind of what I think my ideal day would look like, following kind of a holistic model of things that I want to try to touch on every day. I don't follow it all the time, but it's just nice to see it all laid out. And then I have pretty much just the planner, the Vintage Botanicals. Now, just like I mentioned in the planner lineup video in July, I only use from the Vintage Botanicals the monthly layout. And so it's actually just this monthly layout, and then this page, and then you'll see it just jumps basically straight to August after that. And all of this stuff is stuff that I'll show you in a minute. And it just goes to August, and that's it. Now, I have been removing the pages. I haven't removed them yet, but I have been just removing the pages and saving them for later. So in between that July and August section is what I need to figure it out. Because right now what I have is just basically random notes that I've sketched out for myself. And it's a little bit disorganized. I'm not really sure what I should do with it. Oh, I actually thought I took that out, but I didn't. I don't know what to do with it. And just as another example, this is the wellness planner. What I ended up doing was pulling it and just sticking it in here. It just started working out better like that for me. And here's the social media planner. And again, just pulled the pages and put it in there. The stuff from my home binder, the stuff from my expense tracker, my work notes, which it's because it was summer, I put it in here, but it will be something that I need to put back into the work planner and keep separate. I think it just worked better like that. And then random pages that I was using for my faith planner, and then Sophia's memory planner. Okay, and so I essentially just combined it all and put it into this one section, and it worked out. It was just flipping a bunch back and forth because I just couldn't figure out where everything was, and so it was just flipping through a bunch of things like that. And so what I'm going to do is reorganize it and get it set up for August in a way that makes sense to me. So what I'm going to do first of all is just pull this entire section out. All right, again, one of the things I love about the discount bound system is that I can rearrange as much as I need to, and it's just awesome. Okay, so then what we have got, cover page, the 2 pages here. I'm going to take this out, and then I'll just flip straight to July. Actually, I don't even need this page, so I'll take that out as well. All right, so it'll go from the cover page 2019, these 2 pages, and then straight to July. I'm thinking I won't use the divider here. So July will just open straight out. I'll have the tab there for that. It will be this back page, which I didn't even fill out for July, as you can see. And I might use it for August. I'm not really sure, but that's there. Then for August, I've already filled out the monthly pages. And what I'll have is just that page, this back page, and then random notes that I've got, right? And what I'm thinking of doing is just keeping the entire rest of 2019 in here. So they're starting to get a little bit disorganized there. Okay, so these months here I will take out. November, December, and then I have a random divider, which I won't keep it there, right? So once I remove that off, you can see how thin it is. It's really just the monthly spread. And so there's plenty of room in here. What I'm thinking of doing is just putting the monthly pages at the very beginning. And then what I went ahead and pulled out are blank dividers. Now, I have a ton of dividers. Let me just show you what I've got. I put them in a gallon Ziploc bag, and I just have so many dividers. It's kind of ridiculous. Why I have so many planners and why I have so many pages of that I ended up just, I don't know what I did with all the pages that belong to these dividers. You can see a lot of these are like actual planners, like with the months on them. Some of them are blank. They're from Happy Notes, and so that's what I ended up pulling were a couple of the Happy Notes dividers that I haven't used yet. And what I'm gonna do is basically keep my personal, the monthly stuff at the very beginning, and then put each section behind it. And what I like to do is, instead of writing straight on it, you can do that. I don't necessarily like to do that because I like to reuse dividers. And so what I like to do is get some tape, get some scissors and markers, and show you how I label these. So I got my bag, scissors. This is just regular Scotch tape that I like to use. And I'm gonna get this the fine point, but I think I need to use an extra fine point. So I have a Sharpie, ultra fine point, that I will use to label. So this is what I do. It's very simple. I just take a piece of tape, if I can get it going. I get a piece of tape, and that's it. What I do is put it on the tab. Actually, I need to trim it a little bit. It's a little bit too wide, and so I'll just cut it kind of in half. I'll put this on the divider. And then I have my catch-all section first, the monthly stuff. And what I'm thinking will be next will be wellness. And so I will just put wellness on here. Now the reason I like to use tape is because if I need to reuse the dividers or if I need to change it up even within the month, I can just peel off the tape and re-tape it and I can reuse the divider. The Happy Planner dividers have that lamination on the tab and it's easy to take the tape on and off. So I really love that. So the wellness section will go next. Now, as you might remember from the lineup that I have for my wellness planner, I don't actually use monthlies, and so I'll just put the weekly pages in here and have that going. Next will probably be social media. And I'll just go through and label the rest of these rather than making you watch this, but same concept of trimming it down and labeling it, and I'll meet you on the other side. Okay, so as you can see, I went ahead and got everything labeled. The first section is wellness, social media, faith, my chores section from the home binder, budget from the home binder, a Sudoku section. That's probably, I'm one of a kind in having that section. Sophia, which is her memory pages, and then a work section. I included these two, although they're going to be separate planners, just in case I have things I want to put in here and just keep it in holding for when I need to transfer it over to her memory book or to my work planner. And then I have an extra divider. I went ahead and pulled it, so I put it in here just in case there's something else that comes up that I want to add into this section. Okay, so with that being said, let's start moving some of the pages that I want to get over here. The first one I grabbed was the Sudoku book. So I don't need the entire thing, but I do want some pages just in here in case I want to play with it or play Sudoku while I'm on the road or just sitting at the doctor's office waiting, and I can have these pages in here to kind of play with. And now that I'm putting it in here, this should probably be in the back. So I'm going to move this section to be in the back so that way it's not covering up all of the other tabs. That makes more sense to me. I also didn't label this back side of the tabs. Some people do use the back side of it and flip back and forth, but I just like to flip forward and go from there. So that's first. The next one I grabbed is my Faith planner. As you might remember, again from my previous video, I just used random outdated pages as a space with horizontal lines that I can use for taking sermon notes and notes from Bible studies that I'm doing. So I will stick that in there. I actually really love this color combination together, so that looks great. The home binder, what I use from here, most of this is reference. It's just notes, passwords, information for the entire family to reference, but I do have a current section which are the chores. And what I do for chores is use one of these pages and then a piece of transparency on top of it because there are only 6 of these pages, and so I don't like to waste pages. And I have, for whatever reason, I have a ton of transparency pages, so I just use this and a Sharpie marker to mark on the transparencies, and that seems to work out well. Some of it does rub off, but it's enough to get me through the month. All right, so this is in chores. Chores being right here. And this will be for August, and I'll move my July into here once I finish recording this as well. The next is budget. Again, from my home binder. These are the only sections that I really use on a monthly basis. So in the budget section, I don't actually use most of this extension pack. What I use are going to be these expense trackers, the front and back version of it. So eventually I'll run out of pages and then I'll have to use some of the other ones, but I like to just use this one page and keep track of what I have going, and sometimes I'll end up using 2 or 3 of these pages, so that's there. And that's all from the home binder. The rest of this are things that I just don't use on a regular basis, including meal plans. I just don't use that on a regular basis. I should use it, but I don't. The next one is Transformer Planner. The first part of it is my wellness planner. What I've been using for wellness is the fitness extension pack, and that has been working out well for me actually. And so what I'm going to do is continue using it. I don't actually use the monthly pages. I just use weekly pages, and I go through and redate it. Sorry, not redate, but recategorize it based on the categories that I like to follow from the wellness dimensions that I talked about in a previous video. And then I will date it and just kind of each day kind of note what I've done. And so that will go into my wellness section, which is the very first one. And again, I'll move July into these sections as well once I'm done recording this video, so I can continue for the rest of July and into August. And then next is social media. Again, I don't really use the monthly section I'm not really sure what happened here. Oh, I pulled it out already. All right, so what I'll do is use just August. I really just use the weekly pages from this. In July, I was using the monthly to kind of keep track of stats, but I don't plan to do that with August. And so I'll put that in here. And I'll have my pages there for that. And that's that for that planner. And that's pretty much it. Now, just have to double check. Wellness has its pages, social media, faith, chores, budget. All right, Sophia and work are both empty for the time being. And then my Sudoku section, and then my blank divider. And that's pretty much it. And even with that, it's still very, very slim. I do still have to get July in here, and that will definitely increase the bulk. But that's what I'm planning to do, is just get down to using this, my memory book, which stays at home. It doesn't travel with me, and I update that as I need to. And then my work planner, which obviously goes to work with me. I'll be starting in the next couple of weeks with prepping for the fall semester, and so I'll get that going, and you'll see some videos related to that. And then the rest of it are my summer journals, which I will not be using once summer is over, which for us, school starts back very, very early. It's like August the 6th, I believe. And so all of my nieces and nephews are going back to school on the 6th, which is not that far into August. And so we really only have a week left in the summer journals. And so that is it. How exciting is this to get down to 3? I am still using multiple planners. It's just all within one planner. So I'm very excited about this. It keeps down some of the flipping back and forth. Well, I'll still be flipping back and forth, but the pulling planners on and off the shelf. I think that will be very helpful for me to have the entire month of each of these sections within the one planner, my catch-all, and then having the separation for Sophia's memory stuff and her memory planning, and then my work stuff, which I feel like needs to be separate with all the information that I'm keeping with my students in one place rather than putting it into my personal planner. So I'm very excited about this. I'm looking forward to seeing how this works out for me in August, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please do subscribe, like, leave comments below if you have anything that you saw that was interesting to you or you have more questions about, and let me know what else you would like to see. Right? Until then, and until the next video, have a great one. See you soon.